back to Diary of a Madman. We left off, or we were about to get into the verse, so that's what I just played there. So let's get into what's going on. So this is starting with the A sharp 11 chord that we learned from the intro. So what we're going to do is this. It's the first measure. So this is a measure of 7/4 time. So what we're doing is we're starting with that A 7 sharp 11 and arpeggiating it. So the arpeggio goes, and these are the string numbers: 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so 5 open, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. So. Then what we're going to do is we're going to switch to the F sharp diminished chord, this guy. So, and what we're going to do is, so we're strumming the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings by themselves, and then playing the 1st string by itself. So far we have this. Okay, so then we're going to switch to the D minor 6/A chord. We're not even going to be using the open string though, so it's, we're going to strum the 3 lowest notes of that, so the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and then play the 1st string by itself. So here's the first measure. Alright, the second measure is exactly the same, so it alternates this kind of figure every measure. And the only difference with the second measure is that it ends with an open E note. So it sounds like this. So that's it. Alright, so now what happens is we have kind of like a little interlude part that goes between the verses. And so the distorted guitar comes back in. It's playing something really simple, so we'll check out the chords that it's doing first. So what happens after the verse, we're just going to play some power chords, and this is in 6/8 here, so it sounds like this. Alright, so the last power chord I strum, which is an A5, that overlaps with where the next kind of, or what the clean guitar does, what I just showed you how to do a second ago. So anyways, these power chords, we're going to do these in dotted quarter notes. We have an A5, 3 strings, a G5, so that's 3, 5, 5, F5 to G5, and then another F5 to another G5, and then an A power chord to end it. So let's take a look at what the clean guitars are doing with that. Clean guitar is doing this. So that's it. So the chords that we're doing, I'll name them up. We have an A minor at 9. So these are played on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So this one is 7, 5 open, and that's the arpeggio that we do. The next chord that we do is a C major 7 with a G in the bass, so that's 5, 5 open. And again, we're just playing out the chord. Next is an F chord, 3, 2, 1. So we're going up the F chord, and then we're going to go down a G chord. So just moving the same shape up 2 frets. Alright, then we're going to go back to the F, go up that chord, and then we have this. That is just 2 on your 3rd string, open, 1 on your 2nd string. Okay, so let's check out what happens next. So what happens is, prior to the verse coming in, we're going to play that clean idea with type thing. That 2 measure idea of 7/4 happens, and then the vocals come in. So that verse is, you know, the same as the verse that I just showed you before. And then what we have is kind of like the power chords and the little clean part that I was showing you just a second ago, the interlude part. That's going to happen again, but it's going to be extended and longer. All right, so let's check out what the easy power chords are doing, and then the rest of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're back to the main riff. Alright, so the chords, let's talk about that. Same chords that we had before. We're going to do an A5 to a G5 to an F5 to a G5, and then an F5 to a G5 again. Then we're going to do an A5. Then the rhythm here, we're going to do the F5 to G5, but it's just a quarter going to an eighth note. Alright, then we have another A5, another G5, and then the F5 to G5 thing happens twice again. So alright, so pretty much the main riff happens once, and then the main riff happens again, but it's that 6/8 variation that we saw at the intro that led into the kind of transition to the first verse. So anyway, before we get to all of that, let's check out what the clean guitar is doing underneath these power chords. So I'll play this for you. So it starts off the same. The first three measures are exactly the same as what we played before, so I won't even show those again. What the fourth measure does is we have a dotted quarter note rest, and then we're going to do this. So we're strumming an F major 7, 3, 2, 1 open to a G, just 5, 4, 3. And then we're going to come back to the first chord, the A minor add 9. So that measure repeats. That's just the A minor add 9 to the C major 7/G. Then it changes. We're going to play kind of like little power chord shapes. So this is 3 open 1 on your 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So you're going to pick the 4th, the 2nd, then the 3rd string. Then slide that shape up a full step and leave the open string open, so you'd have. And then next we're going to play our F chord. So going up that F chord then, and then the same ending, so the A, B, C thing closes it off. So then we're to the main riff, which is played the same way on both the distorted guitar and the clean guitars. So then what we have is like a little, interlude section that starts to change keys to the key of E minor. So let's check that out next. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the main riff into the transition part so you can see how this goes in context. Basically, what's coming in is this. So let's talk about that first. So that's just playing a C note. doing like a little grace note hammer on and pull off up to D and back to C. And then we're going to do kind of the same rhythm but with an F sharp note. So that's the 2nd fret. And we're going to do a big bend and release. So the full measure is. Then what we have is this. So it's pretty much very similar to your main riff, but played in the key of E minor instead. So I'll just play that for you slowly. Okay, so then what we have is, so we're playing that kind of octave or power chord shape rather that we had before. So this is 5 open 3 on your 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and we're going like this. So that's 4, 2, 3 as far as the strings go. Then we're doing the same strings again, but we're changing the note on the 4th string. We're moving that down to the 4th fret. So, okay, then we're going to do the riff again. Then what we do is this. So as far as the chords go, you've got an E diminished chord, so that's fretted on your 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, and the frets are 1, 2 open. So just going up the arpeggio. Then you're making the 5th string open and doing that again. So. Okay, then we're going to do the riff again. Then we do this. So the first little bit is the same. And then the chord that we're going to go to is, it's a D chord with an F sharp in the bass. So this starts on the 4th string. We've got the 4th fret. The 3rd string is muted. Then you've got the 3rd fret, and then the 5th fret. So I'm doing this with my middle, index, and pinky finger. And you're picking the 4th, the 1st, and the 2nd strings. Alright, then back to the riff. And then back to these 2 chords. This section just ends with this low open E note. So to recap all this section slowly, I'll start with the riff in A. This part we're into like this really clean kind of breakdown. So let's check out what's played there on the clean guitars. So here are the first 6 measures. Okay, so a word about technique and string skipping when you're playing arpeggiated patterns. Don't anchor your wrist on the bridge, or don't anchor any fingers up here. The way you want to do this is anchoring this part on the body of the guitar, and then just letting the wrist and hand be loose and free. If you're new to this and you haven't been playing like this before, it's going to take probably a couple weeks to get used to this, and it's going to feel awkward at first. But you'll be glad that you did it. In the long run, this will make all this stuff easier. So anyway, the chord that we're playing at first is an E minor with an add 9. So we're playing the open 6th string, nothing on the 5th string, 9 on the 4th string, 11 on the 3rd string, 8 on the 2nd string, and the 1st string's open. So this is like the same shape we had from the intro, but just moved up to an E minor chord. So with the arpeggio pattern, so that's 6, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. So that is it's a bar of 4 time, just 8 notes, and that gets played 3 times. Then what we're going to do is change the bass note of the chord. So pretty much what we're playing here is a C with a sharp 11. So frets, we've got 10, 11, 8 open. And the arpeggio goes like this, starting on the 4th string. Alright, next chord is an E minor 7 with a B in the bass. So the fret numbers, we have 9, 7, 8 open. Or you could say that's a G6 chord, same notes. Then, so the last arpeggio is this, which is it's a B sus arpeggio with a G in the bass, or sorry, F sharp in the bass. So string numbers for the arpeggio. Well, first the chord is, it's just the 11th fret of your 3rd string, then the 2 open high strings. So the arpeggio goes 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3. Okay, so this kind of section is repeated, and then when the vocals come in, you're going to get some different chords. So let's check that out. So the first chord is the same. It's the arpeggio is different though. You're doing 2, 4, 3, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 2. All right, then the next chord is this. So it's a D add 9, so the fret numbers are 12, 11, 10 open on your 4 highest strings. So that's what you play there. You're going to play the 1st and 2nd strings together on the downbeat. And then, as far as the arpeggio goes, you have 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Alright, then back to the first chord. Do the next one. And then there's like this little double stop lick that happens at the end. So you're harmonizing in the E minor scale there. So the double stops are on your 3rd and 2nd strings. You have 12 and 12, to 11 and 10, to 9 and 8, to 7 and 7. So I'm doing this with fingers 3 and 4, then 2 and 1 for that shape, and barring the last one. Alright, so that takes care of this clean section. The distorted guitar jumps back in for a few measures, and then we have the solo section. So I'll cover the solo section to the end of the song in the next installment of this lesson. Alright, thanks a lot.